Welcome to Egg Foo What, the first and only podcast about people eating stuff.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another episode of Egg Foo. And we're back. And Mike Lisk, I got to tell you, I don't know if this is going to be a come down episode, but I know I was walking on air after talking to our new BFF, Jeff Esper, next week. Then I have been emailing him behind your back.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you're best buds because I went down a little bit of the Jeff Esper YouTube channel rabbit hole. And I've got to say this.
He's amazing.
He's amazing, but I don't want to see that stuff. I can't watch that stuff regularly. I mean, you watch a lot of this stuff?
Not as, I mean, every once in a while, I'll just once you get sucked in, you get sucked in.
Well,
I either don't see anything for a couple of weeks or whatever, and then I'll spend like 4 hours not being able to tear my eyes away. Not just him.
Okay.
He's my favorite, but it's a rabbit hole. I think they know that. I don't think anybody like casually walks in. Oh, is this guy eating 22 pounds of baked beans? Let me catch you for a minute. Nope. Oh, the comments are on. Okay, I'll pause this and be back. No, you're either horrified and look away, or you're horrified and you can't stop looking, and it's fantastic.
I was willing to, because he was such a nice guest. I wanted to see him in action. So first up, I watched the actually before I even talked to him, I watched the pork roll, egg and cheese video, which was he's eating a massive sandwich and then sort of 4 pretty large sandwiches to boot. He got towards the end, he's eating the massive sandwich and he starts putting grape jelly on it. And I just wanted to hurl. I mean,
the grape jelly is what puts you over the top?
Yeah, the grape jelly on pork roll, egg and cheese, just where does someone even get the notion? Well, but I guess you're comfortable with these types of things since you put peanut butter on nachos.
Here we go. Is that what the whole kids have been heading
Doritos? No, I'm trying to see the connection that you have.
How difficult was it for you to not ask this eating professional this peanut butter Doritos thing? Was that killing you the entire time?
Well, I couldn't get a question in edgewise. You overran me on the interview. You didn't have that question on your list?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I couldn't get it in there. I had it on my list. It wasn't high priority.
I think he would have just rolled his eyes and said, I'm guessing the grape jelly is just a tool these guys use to lubricate. Because if you listen to what he was saying, they don't eat it and enjoy it.
Well, I'll say that he kind of enjoyed that one. And then I watched his most popular video is a breakfast. He's eating breakfast and it's like massive. He's got these giant pancakes. He's got bacon and sausage and eggs, and I mean it's quite a spread. It takes up the whole table. He's at a diner.
Mike, you are setting the scene here for these people. This is brilliant radio.
And I'm watching this, and I'm watching him, and he is phenomenal. The way he can just sort of mechanically, I mean, he looks like a robot to me. The way he is just, I use the expression wolfing.
Yeah.
Because when he's in full competition mode like that, he's wolfing his food. It doesn't seem human. He's very composed throughout this thing. And you hear waitresses in the background, like amazed how far he's progressed as they go by.
Yeah.
And he's perfectly composed. And it is amazing. It's amazing. I grant you.
You have to be composed if you're eating that much food. Otherwise, you'd start choking. Like that's what you want with these guys, like just total machines, like sharks.
Yeah, but I'm going to progress to a video that was more disturbing.
Oh boy! Well, and I don't know what else he does for money.
The other thing you're talking about lubricant. He's got that blue Powerade. Have you ever? What is that stuff?
I did want to ask him about that. I don't know if he gets his sponsored by them or he just loves it.
Yeah.
But he's big into weightlifting and stuff and being healthy, exercising. So I think it's like, like Gatorade or something for him.
Okay.
That's what people who exercise regularly, lead active lives, drink. I do not.
I mean, I've never drank a blue drink in my life. I don't think. Not even there's a blue liqueur called Blue Curacao, and there are.
That didn't make any sense. Blue Curacao. What?
That's the name of the liqueur. It's a liqueur, Blue Curacao, and it's a blue.
I forgot about your days at Hyannisport.
No, these are my days working at a bar in Bayonne.
Jesus.
And also my days working at a liquor store. So I'm aware of different things that I don't drink. But yeah, so I saw this blue Powerade in Stop and Shop the other day. I almost bought it just out of curiosity to see what this guy sees in his drink, but I refrain.
I've had. I think it's just like Gatorade, any of that stuff.
Yeah,
there's a million of those things now.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't know. I don't know that world, obviously.
Let me put no blue drinks in Mike's Christmas stocking this year.
So then let me get to the disturbing video. The last video I watched.
Okay, because I want to circle back to this jelly thing. So go ahead.
The last video I watched, and I think it may be the last for a while.
Ever? Like
well,
video?
I never say never.
Okay. I like that policy. You never say never, although you never drink blue liquids.
Curacao, yeah,
okay.
or blue drinks in general.
Unless they're fancy liqueurs and with your old companions and the Finneys and the Sperrys back in your youth.
Did you see the video where he eats 20 Whoppers?
Yes.
In 10 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the problem? How is that different than?
Well, he's in pain through most of that.
Yeah.
He's suffering. Yeah. He's suffering. He
doesn't finish every. I've seen him get beat a couple times by these things.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't see. He finished the 20 Whoppers in 10 minutes. He did that, but he was suffering through most of it. And get this, right?
Suffering for you.
No, suffering for him. He was acknowledging that he was not feeling good.
But it was for our entertainment. Is there anybody else that we know in human history who has sacrificed themselves so greatly for fellow man? Is there somebody you're thinking of?
Not with 20 Whoppers in 10 minutes. No, I'm not familiar.
Oh, they didn't have 20 Whoppers.
I'm not familiar with that historical figure.
I'm not.
But let me say this. So he's eating the Whoppers, and yeah, he's suffering. He looks like he's sweating, and but he prevails. He keeps going. He even has like a little container underneath to catch the lettuce and stuff that falls off.
Oh, yeah.
And then he makes a point of eating that because he's afraid of the criticism he'll receive.
Yeah.
In the comment section from people saying he didn't eat the 20 Whoppers. So he does that, and he's literally saying, that was difficult to. But then what does he do? He pulls out 2 more Whoppers as a wind down, and he eats 2 more Whoppers as a wind down after suffering through 20 Whoppers in 10 minutes.
Yeah, a little nightcap, a little something.
I don't know. I mean,
that's what they say after you work out hard, you do a little stretching, cool down. That's a cool down.
Well, I don't know. It struck me as borderline eating disorder. And speaking of that, I mean, I've never gone to any of these eating competitions, so I'm not familiar with that. But there was one particular occasion late in the middle of the night in the Broadway diner in Bayonne. 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, whatever it was. I was always in there very late.
Oh, yes.
And
did
there was.
Get to know the waitresses?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
Oh,
they all called Margaret.
No.
Barbara.
Mine. I was very fond of a waitress named Cindy, a very nice lady.
So I regret to, or an I and a heart over top of it.
Which I learned that she was very ill during the pandemic, which I haven't found out what happened there. But anyway, there was a young woman.
I've been joking for the last 10 seconds about her. Good. Update coming on Cindy with an I and a heart.
So I'm sitting. I usually sit at the counter when I go to the diner. I'm not going to be a hog and take up a whole booth. So I'm sitting at the counter, and there's a young woman, unattended by herself. She looks like she just rolled out of bed, but then again, that could be anybody in
A
Bayonne.
young woman
Boom, boom.
unattended. How young? Like, what is this? Women can't walk around?
In her 20s, I would say.
You notice if a woman is unattended.
Yeah, well, usually you don't see it. I mean, all the unattended people are dudes like me,
Yeah.
And other dudes, the counter people are always generally old dudes like me.
Desperately vying for the hopefully still okay with us, Cindy.
And this woman, as I observed what she was doing, it was clear she had an eating disorder, because she was wolfing that food down, and it just was at a very unnatural pace, and it was disturbing. When you see somebody, and you can't say anything. I'm not gonna, intervene. I don't know what her story is. Maybe she just does have a hearty appetite.
Not the time for a hero, Michaelis.
No. I'm never the hero. But watching Jeff's videos, I was kind of reminded of that incident. I don't know how he stays fit. I mean,
all those guys, all the ones I know or follow are insane. Like, you have to be super fit to do that.
Well, here's a thing, and I don't want to blow I'm not suggesting that Jeff is doing this, but I think that some of these guys must purge, when they're training. I think it's like probably the steroids of competitive eating, purging.
Like making yourself throw up?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know their training routine. I wouldn't say that purging is like steroids. I would say literally whatever the opposite of purging is steroids. Did I blow your mind, Michaelis?
Are you suggesting X-Lax?
How did I know you'd go straight to there? I don't know. I mean, who cares what they do to train?
Okay. I'm just interested in whether it takes a toll on some of these people.
That's why
physically.
That's why I think you have to stay in shape. Like, I don't think you can be in crappy shape and all of a sudden eat 50 hot dogs and then feel normal within a day, much less as quickly as they rebound. I don't know a single one of these guys or girls who's not in great shape.
Okay.
Like we talked about Badlands Booker, the first person you saw in the 90s when you discovered that hot dog contest, like, oh, wow, this guy's huge. I bet he's going to eat 1 million hot dogs. And, these other guys just sprint past him. So.
I mean, I've seen some bigger guys.
But it's always like Matt Stoney, he probably weighs 120 pounds. Kobayashi.
Yeah. No, there are very small, and then of course the women. It's like really even more mind blowing to me when I see some of the women what they can do. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I may take a break from
take a break from
videos, but
take a break from watching. But I am interested. Jelly, I can't imagine. I don't like jelly in particular. Like, I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Like, if it pops up on something, fine. But I don't see, like, even as a kid, I always ate peanut butter sandwiches without jelly, just peanut butter. I don't care for jelly. If it pops up, fine. I cannot say that of all the things that would horrify me on anything really would be jelly. Like, I mean, if you dumped a bunch of mushrooms on something, I'd be horrified. Jelly is nebulous enough that I don't know why you're so bothered with it.
It just seemed so out of place. I mean, I could have accepted ketchup. Some people like ketchup on eggs, and I've had ketchup on scrambled eggs. But I draw the line with fried eggs. An egg sandwich.
Well, my policy on ketchup, so it's for children and Midwesterners.
Okay.
No, actually, Midwesterners love ranch. That's what they're thinking.
You're gonna really alienate just about whole
I love
swaths of our
ranch.
audience with these broad stereotypes.
First of all, don't call them broads. They do not care for that.
Uh-huh.
I love I like ranch.
Mm-hmm.
One of the two women I've been in love with in my life have been from the Midwest. Because I've learned that people from the Midwest love telling you they're from the Midwest constantly. I like the Midwest. I like the Midwest. I like the accent. I like the ranch. That was no aspersion there, Mike.
What about their good manners?
I grew up in the South.
You're used to good manners then. Okay, so
I'm used to bullshit manners.
So it was a shock when you were living in Brooklyn, how rude people were, and nasty.
Excuse me. No, it was comforting.
It was comforting.
It was normal.
It was normal.
But
well, you were sort of a displaced Northeasterner anyway, so it was like going back home for you.
Yeah, it wasn't jarring. Moving to Mississippi was jarring.
Yeah.
Moving to Brooklyn, a little less.
Uh-huh.
But no, I cannot imagine. You're not going to lose me on this jelly thing anytime soon. I can't imagine a food I'm eating that I like, that if some jelly dropped on it, I'd be too horrified.
Mm-hmm.
But you seem to have a problem with blue stuff, maybe. You don't like the blue liquids?
Oh, this, I don't want it to describe it as blue. It's like dark purple.
If it's a little liqueur and you're in your sailboating class, jelly, I don't have a problem with jelly.
Okay.
That's where we draw the line, bro.
Let the record note that Greg Wilson does not have a problem with jelly.
Doesn't have a problem. I don't love it. I don't care for it.
What about preserves?
Same shit. What's the difference?
Come on.
Preserves, if somebody says preserves, I just assume it's an old lady saying it. You know, canning her preserves or whatever, the figs that have been in the basement since the war. I don't care. It's all the same. Jelly. Okay. I'm sure somebody knows the difference between jelly and jam and preserves, but I don't want to say I don't care, but it's absolutely true that I don't care what the difference is.
Yeah, I'm not against jelly or jam or preserves in general. In fact, I've had very good, they have these, I guess they're craft jams or jellies or whatever. And I've had them at different, I went to this beer tasting thing, and they also had some little food things there to take a break from all the beer tasting that you're doing. And I had a very nice jam on a cracker, and I almost thought like, well, that's a whole world could open up to me. It was so good, but I did not pursue it afterwards. So I'm.
You regret your life decision not to pursue what could have been a love of jam and crackers? Boy, these regrets, they're piling up, buddy.
Well, I'm not done yet.
They're piling up, but so far,
I'm not done yet, and who knows what the future holds.
Interesting.
Did you get a chance to listen?
Somebody less aspirational than me. That is astonishing. That is difficult to find here on, I'd say America, but I mean Earth.
Did you get a chance to listen to the theme song?
I did.
Well, yeah, one of our fans put together a little theme, opening theme.
Should we play it?
Can you play it on your end?
Yeah, I'll do all the fucking work. Okay. Yeah, sure. Let me find it. I just listened to it right before we started. I didn't want to listen to it. Oh, here we go. I didn't want to listen to it earlier because then I would just fester all day about it. So we're going to listen to it. It's what, 30 seconds or something?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can pull this off. Because then...
What? The first and only podcast about people eating stuff.
That's it.
What? 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 What?
Wow. Got it. Okay, let me say this.
Okay.
I appreciate anyone taking the time and effort to do this. And I don't want to call them fans because that's presumptive that we're superstars, which we are. But let me tell you, this person hates us. Whoever did this. This is.
What do you mean he hates us? His name is Brent, by the way. Brent.
Thank you, Brent. But this person hates us. And I mean, this is like the next step is yakety sax. I'm surprised they didn't put yakety sax in there. Picture the two of us running around a room in circles, clunking each other in the heads with fire extinguishers. What did you think?
I thought it was again, I echo your appreciation that somebody took the time to do this, and I liked it. I mean, I don't know if the audio is going to be that good from what I heard you play. I'm going to try and insert it at the beginning of this show, so we'll have a good quality at the beginning. But yeah, I thought it was great. I thought, you know, it captured the spirit of the show.
Yeah.
It's even danceable. How many?
That's what we want.
How many? Yeah. How many people? How many TV themes? Let's keep it to TV. Yeah. Would you get up and dance to?
None.
You could dance to this theme.
But did you?
Well, yeah, I did. I danced a little bit.
You got up and danced.
I got up and I shook it.
I think the next step is yakety sax.
Yeah.
If we allow this to continue as a nation, but we'll see. You know, we'll let the fans, because I also have I have 5 different songs I want to try out here. All right.
Okay.
Are you with me?
You've got 5 songs now?
Yes.
Oh.
Now these are just rough clips.
Okay. I'm only saying this because I'm concerned about the quality. I mean, the quality of what you just played was not that great. So I want you to get the best hearing.
Well, the quality is not great. I just recorded it on my phone with my acoustic guitar, very roughly.
Oh, okay.
Between episodes of season 3 of Dairy Girls.
Okay.
Now, these are just rough sketches of what could become songs, and I'm willing to have a contest to let our fans grab hold of one of these and turn them into something special.
Okay.
All right, you ready? Let's
go through it.
This isn't the finished. This is just his idea for the song. It's not actually written, but here we go. Let me turn my phone up, turn off notifications. It is after 5 and there are ladies out and about this city. All right, here we go. Ready? This is Egg Foo What? Theme song 1.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, a little folksy.
Thank you.
Folksy. What do we got here? A little Egg Foo What? Is that what?
A little Egg Foo What?
Okay. Yeah,
all right. So a little snippet. Here's another little snippet.
Yeah, I like that. I think I give that the nod over the first one.
Oh.
A little more upbeat.
I think the first one got cut short, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
All right, Egg Foo What? Theme song number 3. You ready?
Yeah.
Ready? This is a short one. You ready? Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're ready. You're ready. this link for you. And fried rice. All right. Now,
what happened there? All I heard was the hey, hey, hey.
that's right. And I was gonna not enter this into the realm of possibilities, but it dawned on me, instead of us singing hey, 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 what if we had a dog barking?
And the dog is saying egg foo what in dog?
No, dogs can't speak English, Mike,
Okay.
or any language.
Well, I'm
You just
saying,
bark instead of me going hey, hey, hey. The dog.
but you know, egg foo what is just 3 words. So 3 barks could be interpreted by some listeners as being the dog is saying egg foo what?
Right.
Egg foo what?
Oh,
bark, bark, bark.
We're
Egg foo what?
thing.
Bark, bark, bark. Egg foo what? Yeah.
Now, if you're going to start making cracks about dogs and their role in international foods, I'm going to have to stop you there.
Okay.
But that's a thought. Very simple. Have the dog sing it.
Yeah.
Be funny.
I think the Ramones influence was coming through there.
That's so nice of you to say that I'm an influence on the Ramones. You didn't have to say that, Mike. I appreciate that. Here's the last semi-real one. Then I have a little more structured one after this. Here's another gem. Ready?
Yeah.
I think you're ready. You're ready. You're ready. All right, here we go. Egg Foo What theme song number 4. It's Egg Foo What with Greg and Mike and you. Egg Foo What for 2. Egg Foo What with Mike and Greg and you. Egg Foo What will eat everything but chow mein. Fuck chow mein, we hate chow mein. Chow mein was gross. Chow mein should die. Egg Foo What, Mike and Greg and you. Egg Foo What, we're gonna eat some too. Nice, right?
That's the funniest. If we're going straight up, let's let everybody know this is a fun, funny show.
Yeah,
that's the one to go with.
And you notice I put your name first.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Okay.
I know your people get upset. Will get upset. I don't need the whole East Coast swarming.
I go by surnames. So.
Okay. Now here's my last one. This is a minute 50. So, but I know this is based on an actual song that I love, and I think you love. You'll recognize it.
Okay.
And this could be something. All right. This is a little different than the other ones, but let me say how much you love this one. All right, here we go, Mike Lisk. Are you sitting down? You're sitting. I think you're sitting. You're sitting down. All right, here we go, buddy. When I was a young boy, my mother said to me, there's only one food in the whole world now, and it probably eats in Chinese. Call it egg foo young, I call it egg foo young. Maybe it's at a buffet, table in front of my face. Maybe I'm looking for great foo young, and egg foo youngs all over the place. I call it egg foo young, I call it egg foo young for find out. Call it egg foo young, I call it egg foo young, find out where they hide it. Y'all ever get to a Chinese restaurant, you go up to the buffet, and they have white rice in there and then steamed table things, and you're like, well, who the fuck is paying $19 for a Chinese food buffet so they get white rice? Yeah, I don't think so. Call it a food, what? Ah,
That was great.
don't tell me Mike Lisk, because I love that.
Yeah, I love it. I love the Reckless Eric Whole Wide World song that
Nice.
inspired it.
Nice.
Who doesn't love that song?
That's a good question.
Yeah, you'd be able to, I don't know. Does that person exist?
Yes, he exists.
You know, but I'm afraid we're going to get sued if we use that and word gets back to Reckless Eric. Now, Reckless Eric, I've heard him on recent interviews. He's been interviewed recently.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I could reach out to him in some way through
I
some of
think
these, some of my connections might be able to reach him.
Are you being mysterious? Is he on the phone right now? Why are you being so? Ugh.
No, I'm
Oh my God,
saying,
it's Reckless Eric.
wouldn't that be
I
wild?
think.
Wouldn't that be wild? If,
All right, I
if,
feel
if
like you're
we
couching something.
if we could
I
get,
would love that. I love Reckless Eric.
uh-huh.
It does feel like he is somewhat of a status of attainability.
Yeah.
Someone with, and I'm also couching and talking like this, so you're picking up on what I'm saying. Someone with your connections. I don't know why we're saying that.
Yeah. No.
But you're 100% right. I do think we could reach him, or you could reach him somehow. And I don't know, why wouldn't he get a kick out of this?
No, he would get a kick out of it. So
Yeah.
so I'm suggesting.
I mean, he just made $1 billion last year. This was in the Super Bowl, I think, last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I mean, I'm sure nobody, but I think he's at that level where I think he'd get a kick out of this. I mean, we'd have to flesh it out. I would have to actually write it. I mean,
yeah, I would say, Greg, you do your best version of that.
What about my,
recording wise, if you kind of spiff up the production and.
Oh, now it's production. Okay. Well, all right. Why don't we get the okay from
some music producers?
Yes.
Not that I doubt your own capabilities. You're familiar with the music world more than me.
Why don't we find out from, I'm sure you call him Eric. If he gives me the okay, I will spend all of our budget on recording it.
Uh-huh.
Because I love him. I love that song.
Yeah.
He put out one of my favorite albums. Now we're talking about him. Besides that song, Whole Wide World, which to me is a classic of classics of that era.
Yeah.
It's everything that's great. It's kind of just himself. It's 2 chords. It's just buoyant. It's everything. But he also put out an album in, I think, 91 or 92 called The Donovan of Trash. And I love that album. I've never bought another album of his.
Okay.
Before or since. I cannot recommend that album enough.
I'm not familiar with that record, and
Donovan of Trash.
I will listen to it.
Listen to it. I think you'll love it. It's like hit after hit after hit.
Really?
But I think
it didn't register at the time. What year did it come out? Like early 90s, you say?
91, or I just stumbled upon it because I loved Whole Wide World.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything else, like most people. And I think I just stumbled on it in the record store, and I just loved it ever since. But again, it's one of these things where I have a couple of examples of this. I love that album, and I've never once taken 2 seconds to listen to any other of his albums.
Okay. Well, I'm always looking for new stuff to check out. I'll definitely check that out.
Definitely 2 thumbs up. And let's make this happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, in the meantime, I think we should give our fans a choice to choose between all these.
Yeah, I'm sure people will be commenting on the themes offered in this show.
Yeah, we need a way to post them or whatever to give people a chance to.
Well, now you're asking.
Or do we just say tough duty? You got to listen to the podcast a couple times. You are the production of this group.
But I've seen you do some things with audio clips that suggest that you may be able to do this.
Well, I guess, I can just throw them in SoundCloud and we can post them on Twitter. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we solved that. That was easy. Okay. I got to be honest. I thought this was going to be like a 30-minute discussion now of how to get these files. I mean, not to be an ass, but you do have trouble putting photos from your phone. You know what? I think this. I'm going to play this first one again because I think it got cut off. because I think I say something funny about you not doing your pictures because it was fresh on my mind. You not being able to take pictures from your phone to your computer. So I'm gonna redo song 1 real quick if you don't mind.
Okay.
Mike. I don't think you mind. You don't mind. You're
Not
cool.
really.
You're cool. Egg for What theme song 1. Here we go.
Egg for What theme song number 1.
I just said that, dummy.
What have we got here? Got a little egg for what? What have we got here? Got a little egg for what? Mike can take pictures of a stone. Take pictures of a stone. Oh, what have we got here? Got a little egg for what? What have we got here? Got a little egg for what? Talking about the food, we're talking about Elvis, talking about Bruce, we're talking your pelvis. What have we got here? Got a little egg for what?
Uh-huh.
You want here?
Don't you cut me off, Michael.
Uh-huh.
Your little egg for what? What have we got here?
Now,
Okay, I think it got truncated that first time, right?
yeah, it may have, but
Yeah.
listening to it again, can you give me the line where you rhymed Elvis with pelvis?
Is that going to our lawyers right now? Is that the problem, Michael Lisk?
Yeah, well, give me the lines.
I don't know. What is it? We're talking about Elvis, talking about your pelvis. I mean, what rhymes with Elvis?
Yeah, I know, but have we ever talked
Hold on.
about our pelvises?
Got here? Got a little egg for what? What have we got here? Got a little egg for what? Talking about the food, we're talking about Elvis, talking about Bruce, we're talking your pelvis. What have we?
Okay,
Talking about food, talking about Elvis, talking about girls, talking about your pelvis.
I thought I was talking about Bruce.
Do I say Bruce?
Please, Bruce.
Talking about Bruce, we're talking your pelvis.
Oh,
What have we
I think.
got? Talking about the food, we're talking about Elvis, talking about Bruce, we're talking your pelvis.
All right. Hey, I want to go down as a legend who once rhymed food with Bruce.
No, I mean, I have no problems with that stanza until you get to, because I don't know that we've ever talked about our pelvises, have we?
Not on this show.
No. Okay.
That costs extra. I'm sorry. That's the gentleman's premium
I'm
premium
drawing-
club subscription
I'm
membership.
drawing a blank on the last time we talked about human anatomy on this show. We talk about a lot of things.
Well, you kept trying to talk about it with Jeff Esper last week. Jesus, only one
that's
part of
part
his
of-
anatomy.
That's just part of the, what goes with the territory. I mean, how can you not talk about how that food exits?
That's true.
I mean, come on.
I mean, I don't know why it's carried over to this week, but okay. but I will say this. I do like that little riff. If this song doesn't win, I'm going to take that back and make a real song. So
Okay.
But
I
don't-
like it. I like them all. I like them all.
don't you patronize me, Michael.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll put it out. We'll put it out to our fans.
All 16 of them.
along with the one Brett sent, along with that, and we'll let them decide.
Okay.
Well, and then we can have them pay to record it themselves, and
Uh-huh.
or pay me a license fee,
Uh-huh.
and go from there. So
Yeah.
I think once you start having fans write theme songs for your show, you've made it.
I agree.
Yeah. So I'm glad you like all those. I'm
Okay.
happy.
You caught me by surprise. I wasn't ready to hear 5 different versions in 1 week. So
That's
you
what
really cracked the whip this week. I appreciate that.
this is the service I deliver. I mean, you talk a lot about your fans. You say a lot about your beloved, cherished fans.
Yeah.
But one of us is actually doing something
Mhm.
for them.
Okay.
That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Okay. So an hour into the show, maybe we should get to the point with this week's dish. Was Happy Family.
Yes.
Now this is
This is easily my second favorite We're a Happy Family.
okay. So you're positive already.
Well, yes and no. I don't have a picture because I went to lunch with some people at work and I felt stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But I got it without the shrimp. Uh, it was fine. I'm such a broken record. It was fine. I buried it in rice
Uh-huh.
and picked around the sauce that was with it wasn't as horrible as our usual goop.
Yeah, it was more of a brown sauce.
Yeah, which was fine. I kind of picked and scooped and ate most of it. It's perfectly fine. I don't remember any real flavors or taste bursting out at me before or after the meal.
Uh-huh.
So let me hear you, because I don't have anything really remarkable to say one way or the other.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick out dishes the next few weeks of things that I'm not even sure what it is. So I didn't know what a happy family dish was going to be.
Right.
We used to have a local Chinese restaurant called Happy Family. So I figured, well, if a restaurant's going to name itself after the dish, it might be a pretty good dish. So I went in with a sort of positive, optimistic tone. What I got was, I would say it was good. It had everything in it. And I guess this is the happy family, I think, is what they're trying to suggest. The more the merrier.
Yes, I think it's just the usual stuff we've been eating, but hey, here's more of it.
It's all combined here. I had even little, I mean, I guess you would have been appalled. I guess you didn't get, I had like little chunks of lobster.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
I had
like
little
a Hyannisport.
This was, yeah, I mean, I've never gone the lobster route.
Did you have to ask for it, or it just comes with it?
It was part of it. So mine had lobster, shrimp, chicken, pork, and beef.
And beef, yeah.
Yeah, it had them all. Touched all 5 bases. Baseball had 5 bases.
That's a Mets fan for you.
Oh, let's not go down there yet.
Sorry.
But so I'm like, wow, this, yeah, that's what the happy family is. They're trying to assemble all everything together, and in their minds that equates with happiness.
Oh, that's a good point in terms
The
of
more the merrier. It's a happy family we brought together. They're all here. All those things you like in our dishes, they're all here in the happy family.
But that's all their dishes. All their dishes are just here's everything we've ever seen or owned. Just come in their field of vision, just thrown together.
And it was a brown sauce. It had significantly sized chunks of pepper, onions, broccoli, a little carrots. Yeah, there was some carrots in there. The baby corn were there. Always like to see the baby corn. Did you have baby corn?
I like baby corn's okay.
Yeah, okay. So the baby corn was in there. The brown sauce was nice. I didn't even really go to. It was so hearty.
Yeah.
I didn't even really feel the need to. I mean, I put a little rice out to get the combination of the rice with that. But I think you could just eat this without the rice, and it would be like a hearty Chinese stew. Just like.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Well, I have 2 things. Number one, it's weird that this is there. Let's have it all together, all the meats, all the great things, because we're going to bring families together. But they don't use the goop that they usually do. For this, they're like, just give them the brown sauce. Either the goop is too good or not good enough for this particular dish.
Well, which goop are you talking about? You're talking about the red goop from the
like
sweet
the glaze that
the sweet and sour goop?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't work with this. I mean, that would have been a nightmare.
Well, from what I've seen, it doesn't work with anything.
Well, yeah. I'm kind of agreeing with you on that one.
Yeah. But what's your experience? Because when it's okay, I'm getting the happy family. What rice do you get? What should we always be defaulting to with the rice? White rice, fried rice, steamed brown rice, or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's to each his own. With this particular dish, I would say this was like the first dish where I didn't even really feel like I needed the rice.
Wow.
because it was good, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't need rice to ruin this.
Well, that's
Not that it would ruin it, but it would just,
well,
it'd be a side.
yeah, that segues into what I'm guessing. Like, I guess if with something like this, you would choose white rice because you want whatever rice to not outshine the
Yeah.
dish. You want it to just be a conduit, a delivery system, something to mush together for texture. Like I kind of have to have it for the texture.
Yeah. What about the intermingling?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, and
I saw you throw that out on Twitter, and I was like, what? Okay.
yeah. Is that a big
intermingling?
word?
Okay.
Is that bad?
No. I mean, but I think it's your own interpretation. I've never heard. I mean, do you mean like the fusion of taste? People talk about that.
I mean, like, we mix it up, they mingle together.
Mm-hmm.
No good?
No, it's, I think it's good. That's why I brought it up. I'm not gonna leave stuff laying around. I don't think it's good.
I think from now on, because I don't know if I have a policy. I think from now on, I'll always default. Oh, that's China right now. We have to shut this off.
And trying to shut us down.
Sorry, China.
Too much intermingling talk.
Yeah, jeez. I think I'll always default to the white rice from now on, just to get that perfect base. Like if we were doing pizza, we'd always get just the cheese slice.
Yeah.
Kind of that.
I've gotten a couple combinations that come with pork fried rice. Yeah, I mean, pork fried rice is just a step up. I don't have anything against white rice.
Yeah.
But if they're offering pork fried rice in a combination, yeah, I'll take it. It's a step up.
Yeah. For these purposes, if you're intermingling, the pork fried rice might be too good.
Well, oh yeah, you don't need pork fried rice for this. Yeah. You're right.
But yeah, just in my regular daily Chinese food, I would always get the pork fried rice. But yeah. In the lab that is Egg Foo What, I do white rice. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not trying to put this on everybody else out there in Egg Foo What Nation. But that's gonna be my.
Is that the T-shirt? Is that the T-shirt?
It can be.
Egg Foo What Nation.
For only $24.99.
Visors? Are we gonna do visors?
Well, you sound sad. I don't know. Am I in charge of this? Am I the merch guy now?
Coffee cups.
Because I got bad news for you. Right now, there's no merch.
There is no merch, and
as your merch guy, right now, I got to tell you, there's no merch.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm spitballing future possible merch.
What is good merch? T-shirts, fine.
I've got a connection with a T-shirt. I've got.
Oh, here we go.
I've got good connections. I mean, I know so many creative people through the Best Show.
There you go.
That I can reach out to people and make stuff happen. I mean,
what's something unique in like a Chinese food setting that would be fun merch for us, other than fortune cookies that we write the fortunes for that are frightening?
Actually, you just gave me an image, a possible image for the T-shirt. It's a cracked fortune cookie with the fortune sort of rolling out of it. Egg Foo What?
Any picture, Mike. Hold on.
Egg Foo What?
You are screwed.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
That's the fortune.
I
like that. T-shirts. Yeah, anybody can do T-shirts. As brilliant as my idea there was, we'll think of something.
Yeah.
Something, not chopsticks. That's a little, I don't use them. Unless I'm in a group, I'm trying to impress a girl, then I'll pull them out and start lecturing. We'll think of something. I mean, I just did all those theme songs this week. I can't do everything. I can't, come on. That took up most of the week. But that's a good idea. Unique merch.
Yeah.
The search for merch. I just made that up. Trademark.
You making any progress with In Cold Blood?
Well, I haven't started yet, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because it's still not dark enough when I get home. It's still like I'm looking out the window right now. It's still not dark. It's fucking 6:30 for a book like that. For my Halloween reading, I like it to be dark, but it's still so light late at night. I'm kind of waiting a couple more days.
Okay.
I don't want to read that when it's light outside.
Well, it's not horror beginning to end. You know, you
Well,
you get some background in the beginning of the book
Yeah, that's
of
fine.
the people.
But you get what I mean. How about the?
No, I don't get what you mean.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've
Okay.
never used the light outside as being an excuse to not read.
Well, that's a thinly veiled insult there, Mike. Thank you for delivering that.
Oh wait, I've never received one of those.
No, for my
Okay.
seasonal Halloween reading,
Okay.
I like In the Dark, and I just haven't gotten a chance to because I'd like to sit around and bitch about the sun. But no, I'm excited to start it and get going. So
I don't want to spoil your mood.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm about 100 pages into Frankenstein.
Nice.
I'm enjoying it.
Nice.
It's I mean, it's different than the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, I became aware. Somebody said there was a what's his name? Brana did a recent update. I totally missed the boat on that one. Was that any good?
Kenneth Branagh?
Kenneth Branagh? Yeah, did.
No, the only one I've seen is after I read the book. I loved the book so much. I went and watched whatever whoever did it in the 30s or whatever.
Yeah, the
Boris Karloff or what that crew.
Yeah.
It was just stupid. It was the dumbest, you know. It's just like,
well, after you read the book, yeah, it's you can see it's goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't read the book and you or I were putting together a Frankenstein movie, we know exactly what it would look like. And it's nothing like the book. So
right.
I haven't heard a new version, but I'm if it's got bolts in the neck walking around, come on.
Well, the animated creature, let me call him that, in the book, it does have a distinct look. He's very tall.
Yeah.
He's like 8 feet tall. He's yellowish in tone, and he has black lips. I thought that was an interesting detail. So
Cold Blood.
Okay.
My high school nickname.
Okay.
Cold Blood.
Blood.
Hey, against Cold Blood.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna. I could go somewhere with that, but I'm not gonna do it. But no, I'm enjoying the book, and there's a little bit towards the beginning of the book where when Victor's mother dies, and his cousin Elizabeth was very sick with scarlet fever, which you read a lot about in books 200 years old.
That's true.
And what was the other one? Scarlet fever, and what did they call cancer in all those Dostoevsky books?
Rickets.
Consumption.
Dysphoria, consumption. That's TB.
Yeah. So anyway, Elizabeth survives, but the mother does succumb to scarlet fever and dies. And there's a little bit where, you know, this is a book 200 years old, over 200 years old. And you think like, well, what do they have to tell us now? You know, we're know-it-alls, you know. But there's a little bit about grief.
Yeah.
And I read it, I'm like, oh, wait a second. This thing is like a paragraph long. And it kind of nails grief. Nobody can really write about grief as succinctly and sort of on the nose about grief. Let me just read. I'm not a fan of reading on the air, but it's not that long.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, let's hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a funny, spooky monster voice.
No.
If you want to.
No. It is so long before the mind can persuade itself that she, whom we saw every day, and whose very existence appeared a part of our own, can have departed forever, that the brightness of a beloved eye can have been extinguished, and the sound of a voice so familiar and dear to the ear can be hushed, never more to be heard. These are the reflections of the first days, but when the lapse of time proves the reality of the evil, then the actual bitterness of grief commences. Yet from whom has not the rude hand rent away some dear connection? And why should I describe a sorrow which all have felt and must feel? The time at length arrives when grief is rather an indulgence than a necessity, and the smile that plays upon the lips, although it may be deemed a sacrilege, is not banished. That's pretty good stuff, right?
Now that nobody's listening, yeah, I think the line that jumps out is the why should I have to describe it? Everybody knows it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, and that only can prove my next point a little more. Is there a better example of a movie book disparity than Frankenstein? Like, that just don't match up almost in any way. Would you say?
Well, there's so many, and I mean, very few. I would say, almost very few movies match the book at all. I
Yeah,
think.
well, I don't mean examples of like somebody bought the rights to a book just to have it so they could call the movie. Well, actually, a good example is Cheaper by the Dozen. One of my favorite books of all time. Incredible book.
Who's
You
that
can
by?
watch the commercial for the stupid movie with Ashton Kutcher or whatever.
Who wrote that book?
Slapped it. Oh God, it was two siblings, the Gilbreth kid.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with that.
You never read Cheaper by the Dozen?
No.
Oh, it's in my top 10.
Really?
I mean, it's ostensibly not a kid's book, but it's, younger kids can read it, but it's just brilliant, poignant, laugh out loud funny. There's some lines in there that are just laugh out loud funny. And then they make this stupid movie. They're like, oh, why don't we make a movie with 12 kids? And of course, everybody's running around into each other, screaming and someone's swinging from a chandelier, and mom and dad can't. Oh, they're pulling their hair out. Total garbage. But that I don't even take seriously as a movie. Frankenstein, I think it's taken seriously as a movie over the decades.
Yeah, and I kind of enjoy those. I mean, I watched them when I was a kid. We had a thing here called Creature Features on Saturdays.
Sure.
And they would show.
I think you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
But
I understand your point. I mean, it's completely different than the book. But yeah, I mean, once you sort of say, okay, this is something different, I can enjoy it. It's not probably as good as the book. I'm not done with the book, but I'm enjoying the book a lot.
Yeah. I mean, movies can be not as good as a book or vice versa, but I mean, just total disconnect to me.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. They like just threw the whole idea of sticking close to the book out the window. Yeah. All they saw was somebody creating a monster, and then they ran with it.
Right? Yeah, it's easy to.
What can we do in the studio that will be easy? Kind of give that's the main point of the book.
Yeah.
We'll just do our own thing with it.
Yeah, and I mean that it worked. They made money off it, so
yeah.
But I'm pumped you're enjoying it. That's great.
Yeah, no, it is good.
So next week you'll be done with that. I'll be deep into In Cold Blood now that the sun's going away a little earlier. Thank God. Yeah, so people can listen to us read over the air more.
Yeah. So yeah. No, I mean, I'm not a fan of that, but that was so good that I was like, that's worth. It's a paragraph. It's not, I didn't read a whole page.
That's
good. But I was also, I saw, one of your favorite things is Cheese Whiz. Do we need to have this discussion?
What you don't like Cheese? Who doesn't like Cheese Whiz?
You're talking about like something having when you're a kid.
I didn't have it when I was a kid. I wish I had when I was a kid.
How old were you when you discovered Cheese Whiz?
I bet I didn't have Cheese Whiz till Probably in New York. I mean, probably I was a full blown adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, no chance I had cheese with. Number one, I didn't eat cheese as a kid because I didn't discover I loved cheese until college.
Okay, that's
Just
regrettable.
like
That's
ice
too
cream,
bad.
just like not discovering ice cream cake until I was 35. But let's not go down that road of bitterness. But what's wrong with cheese whiz?
Well, you know, to me, well, maybe it's because you arrived to cheese so late that yeah, cheese is one of the top substances, and you know, I mean, you put cheese on anything, it enhances the dish right off the bat for me. So I'm shocked that you would even sort of, because we don't even know that there's any cheese in Cheese Whiz. I
Of
did a
course, there's
little.
no cheese in cheese whiz.
I
Are you going to do this hang up? Oh, it's not real cheese.
well, I think it's significant. I mean, if you like cheese, you like other cheeses, right?
Sure.
Okay.
But there's something unique about cheese whiz. I don't care if I assume it's not real cheese.
Okay. So you're all in on the chemical unhealthy concoction, whatever it is.
I mean, I can make a comment about I don't care if some ladies have fake,
Yeah, let's not go there.
but I don't care. But
all right.
the only thing I do
Yeah,
know
I
about,
think the audience is okay. Now they know that Greg is not against artificial enhancements.
no,
Okay.
I live and breathe in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay.
the only thing I do know about Cheese Whiz is apparently it's good enough for the entire city of Philadelphia and the cheesesteaks.
Okay.
That's all I know.
All right.
But I will say this: you read a paragraph earlier today when you made a crack about Cheese Whiz. I mentioned Cheese Whiz in my blog once, and I'm going to read it right now.
Okay.
Now I haven't read this. I just copied and pasted, looked at it. This is from 2007. Okay, this is what I said about Cheese Whiz. The only thing I've ever mentioned on my blog about Cheese Whiz. You ready? You're ready. I got a jar of Cheese Whiz the other day, and it turns out you can't just stick the jar in a microwave if you want to heat up the cheese. The jar says explicitly you have to transfer the cheese to a microwavable dish. Are you kidding me? This infuriates me because no matter how much you scrape at the jar, you can't fucking get all the cheese out. So you're left standing there looking at all the cheese you got to throw away and feeling cheated. Congratulations, Cheese Whiz. You've accomplished what I had previously thought to be the impossible. Turn me off of bright yellow, viscous, processed liquid cheese. As Paulie said to Henry Hill at the end of Goodfellas when he found out that he was dealing drugs, now I got to turn my back to you. So I was angry at Cheese Whiz 15 years ago. And I would think you'd like the part about feeling cheated because I couldn't scrape all the cheese off the sides of the glass in the jar.
What if you poured some hot water in it and drank it?
That's disgusting.
Well, you get all the cheese.
I don't need the cheese that much.
You're eating Cheese Whiz as it is. That's not disgusting in itself.
The 99% of the
why not go full hog?
I'm saying adding hot water to it isn't going full hog.
I mean, it'll condense the cheese that's on the glass. It's in a plastic container now, right? It's not in glass anymore.
Last time I checked, it was glass. I think that's
why still glass. Wow.
Well, I don't know. I haven't done it in years, but yeah, back then it was glass. You had to scrape it. Maybe now it's plastic, but we're not talking about the 60s. This is 2007.
But your complaint could be waged against anything: peanut butter, salsa,
adding hot water. Going whole hog would be I take the thing and just stick in my mouth and drink it. That's whole hog.
What about your finger? You could probably do a good job with the finger.
I could do that.
How about your tongue around the rim of?
Yeah, I'm sure I did that. But there's still like as the curvature under the lid, underneath, there's a whole strip there.
I see. Yeah.
And so you throw away, not a lot, but like that 3 or 4% that just nags at you.
Your fingers are too short to caress the under rim.
Yeah. Oh my God. I get 2 phone calls in 12 years.
Uh-huh.
Now people want to say, "Hey, what's Greg Wilson up to?"
Uh-huh.
I love Cheese Whiz. It's good enough for Philadelphia to put on their cheese sticks. Good enough for me. I can't argue your no cheese thing. But that to me, like roast beef at Arby's or something else we may mention a minute ago, I'm fine with. How'd you like that Goodfellas reference dropped in there at the end?
Yeah,
Pretty good.
You did it, man. You did it.
Thank you.
It's not hard to pull one of those off. Many people do. Many people do, and many people fail.
One quick thing before we go to think of. I'm in this music. It's an app, but a couple people at work got me into it. This music group contest every week. They have you select a song based on whatever. Last week was what's the best song under 2 minutes, and then like we all vote on it, and there's a winner. I didn't win. And then this week was,
well, how do you win? Who's judging?
Just there's 17 of us in this group, and you just vote thumbs up, thumbs down, or whatever.
Let me guess what you picked. A Buddy Holly song?
No, I didn't.
No,
but I'm flattered.
Under 2 minutes
because I love Buddy Holly.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to, you know, I know what you like for the most part. I think.
I bet you. I had 2 picks. I guarantee you can pick one of them. And and when I tell you the other one, you'll be not as surprised either.
Ramones?
Yep.
Okay.
Can you guess the song?
No, that's too difficult.
Yeah. Okay. I did Carbona, not Glue.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I guess I know that's your favorite album.
I mean, it's a little too. Of course, you sprint to the Ramones for this, but it is what it is. And then the other one was a Mirage song.
Okay.
Baby Love off their first album. Under 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But this week was best covers, and I was excited, and the wannabe music snob roared up in me, and I started setting up these policies about what I could and couldn't choose. But in the end, as the clock was ticking, because there's a deadline, I just totally panicked and melted down. Because I had these things like, well, it's like. Eventually, we all found out "I Love Rock and Roll" by Joan Jett was a cover, but nobody knew that for 100 years.
No, yeah.
So, but of course, somebody picked that, and I'm like, all right, well, you try to be too clever.
Yeah, they're bragging, you know.
Yeah, so it's like, but then I did it. I panicked, and I picked the 2 I picked were Superman, the REM cover, which I love, but it goes against my policy because I didn't know that was a cover for like 20 years until. Yeah, the internet came along and suddenly we know everything.
And the Superman, who's the original?
They're a band called The Click.
Okay, well, yeah, I didn't know that till you told me.
Yeah, I didn't know it for 100 years. Even when I did know it was a cover for years, you know, back then you couldn't just pop on YouTube and it's there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't want to be that guy, but then I was that guy.
You were that guy.
And then
I thought, you know, for a moment there, I'm like, did REM cover the Kinks Superman?
That would have been nice. But their version.
Talk about a neglected album. Do you love Low Budget?
Yes.
That's a great album.
Yes.
And I was fortunate to see them touring on that album. Some of the best shows I saw.
We need to have a whole Kinks show.
Yeah, next week.
Yes, because you know I love the Kinks.
Yeah,
any chance to love on the Kinks while shitting on the Stones, won't fall. But let me give you my second one I picked. And again, I'm disappointed in myself, but I have a reason to be somewhat happy. I wanted to pick something cool, like every Stax record we love. There's a cover of it, or it was a cover. But again, I just panicked. And I picked Police on My Back, the Clash cover, which is a great song, a great version.
Yeah.
But nobody really knows it. But I feel better because I love the Equals. Do you know the Equals? They did the original.
Yes. Yes. I think you were the one who basically got me to listen to the Equals.
Yeah, I've been banging on about them. They, to me, are the most overlooked / underrated. Eddie Grant, Electric Avenue, that was his band in the 60s.
Yeah.
If you listen to a best of or whatever. It's just like, this should have been the biggest single in the world. This should have been a huge single. They had a couple of regional hits in the 60s, but so I wasn't necessarily happy with how I got there, but I will say, if I make one person out there learn and listen and love the Equals, I'll feel happy about it.
Yeah,
'Cause I love
well,
them so much.
you're talking to one of them. You
Yeah,
got me
yeah.
into them.
Yeah.
But if you went with Police and Thieves, I would have been just as pleased with that. Another cover by the Clash of a reggae artist.
Well, you just made my brain stop. But
Oh, wait a second,
But-
you didn't know
but-
that? You
no, I
didn't
did know that.
Oh, okay.
But it's funny that there is a cover they did of a reggae. But I like Police My Back a lot better.
Okay, yeah.
You know.
I think they're both great. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
hold one against the other. They're both great songs.
So-
I'm thinking about it, and yeah, I haven't had much time to think about it. The one that jumped out at me would be not that there's anything wrong with the original Hallelujah, but I think Jeff Buckley just really, that's a phenomenal
Okay.
version of that. The other thing, again, this is I'm just sort of thinking off the bat. And I think were you commenting on it? Somebody. Anyway, the Nothing Compares to You,
All right.
the Prince song, which of course Sinead O'Connor's version is phenomenal.
But then again, that's a tricky one too, because I mean, didn't Prince write that for her?
Yeah, I think there was, a collaboration.
That's
at the
tricky
time.
too.
And he didn't he let her have the success. He wasn't, saying, hey, he wasn't like waving his hand, hey, I wrote it, I mean, it was fully acknowledged at the time. It wasn't
right. But if he recorded a version before that.
Yeah. But I don't think it was like really released, or maybe a B-side or something. It wasn't on one of his albums.
Yeah.
To
me, I've always thought, like Manic Monday, he wrote that. I never thought of it as something he had done before.
Right.
So that's another tricky lane. Then the whole thing about like, do I want to be clever and put twist and shout? And of course, everybody knows the Beatles version. So yeah, this is a question. The covers one, even more so than the 2 minutes thing. I think you're always going to have an answer ready to go, but when you're confronted with it, it's a bit like, oh shit, you forget about the 900 ones you've already thought of, and or at least that's what I did.
Have you heard the Chris Cornell version of Nothing Compares to You?
No.
I've recently become acquainted with that. I actually, believe it or not, I think that won a Grammy in some weird category last year. And it's great. It's a great version too, and maybe a little more down to earth. You know how Sinead O'Connor's is kind of in the ether. It's kind of this mystical rendition. But check out the Chris Cornell version. It's pretty good.
Writing it down.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So if you think of anything between now and next week, if you had to pick two covers, because it's a rabbit hole. You can get, like, I totally psych myself out. So
yeah,
that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. Well, I think we've reached the end of the show. I want to thank everybody for listening. Hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends, hit the subscribe. Thanks everybody, and we'll talk to you next week. And vote for those songs.
Yeah,
we'll be posting those tomorrow.
Okay.